Hi, welcome to Scofield Farm. I'm Carice. It's been a while. That wasn't on purpose. I didn't go like radio silent on purpose. I actually did a video about my bees and then I hurt my back again. I kind of went missing in action, and that was my physical issues. And then fall is very busy for us. So I still have been doing our homesteading stuff, growing food, working on the plants I started, planting some out that I actually got from a friend that I'll show you in just a second, a little snippet of that I filmed. And then I have been preserving food, harvesting food, mostly my children, but helping them have meal plans to use our food in meals since I, again, got set back a little bit physically. So still here, still doing a lot of work, just not documenting it as much on different videos to share with you, which I miss. I really do miss sharing with you because it is something that I can document we're doing for myself, but also I get to relate to other people who are doing the same thing, who have a vision to feed their family largely from what you grow and you raise. And what we grow and raise, it's like such an honor. It's a lot of work, but it's something I love relating to people about. One thing we grow a ton of are chives. Like so many chives. I started with 2 little tiny plants, tiny, from my friend Robin. And then I divided them, moved them around my garden, divided them again. So I have these humongous bushes. They're one of the first things to bloom in the garden. They bloom beautiful purple because they are garlic chives. The bees love them. We keep bees. So I'm always trying to use fresh chives, trying to sell them pretty inexpensive local to family friends, give them away. And I was like, how could I not waste this beautiful bounty that we grow? So I've been making dried chive powder, and it is amazing. It is so fragrant, so tasty, and we use it in place of onion powder. So I dehydrate it, I put it up. This is something I've given as a gift for Christmas before. You know, personally, our family uses this a lot in our cooking. So it's one way that I can try to take advantage of the abundance we have of chives. We may not have abundance of everything. Like this year, we do not have an abundance of tomatoes. It just was not the year of the tomato, but it always is the year of the chive. So I want to take advantage of what we can grow successfully and try to meal plan and do our cooking around the things that thrive in our garden in Northern California. We are in zone 9B, and we actually are so blessed we can grow food year round. Things are slower in the winter, which we're not quite to the winter, although it's been raining in October like it's winter. It's been 20 degrees below average highs most days. We're usually in the 80s, 90s, sometimes hitting 100 in October. We had a day last week, it was mid 50s high and raining all day. That is what our Januaries are like. So anyway, I'm not ready for winter, but I'm thankful that we can grow food, all different types of food all year, and be able to help give nourishment and really, 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 really local food to our family, to our cooking, to what we eat and what nourishes our body. That's something we really like, and that's what I like to share here, along with just life. Our zinnia have been amazing. You can hear my son doing dishes in the background, but we have bouquet after bouquet after bouquet in our house, even way over there. Bouquets. We're enjoying the fresh flowers while we can. So behind me, you see a real life mess of a lot of different spices and stuff I've made back there. There's honey, over there. Honey I need to put in jars. We have more honey in a bucket below, some frames we need to spin. We have garlic in baskets we need to plant, but I don't usually plant that till the first week of November. We have winter squash up on the shelf that we will eat throughout the winter. We have a lot of different jars of different spices that I am putting up from our garden. So this is a real working homestead kitchen. It's not just farmhouse, decor. It's farmhouse decor. So guys, how are you? What is going on in life? Because I can tell you that the season I've been in has been very good in a lot of ways, but very intense and pressing in others. And just as I do a few different homestead tasks, I thought maybe I would share with you a little bit about what I've been learning and what's been going on, because I feel like that is part of what I have to offer on this channel. Is not just like a tutorial, even though I do put, some videos out like that of how to make hot sauce or how to take care of citrus trees. But I think like sharing life, sharing what I'm learning in life, as well as in the garden on the homestead, is something that I do have to offer. And I know the algorithm may not like that. I had the least views ever on any video in my last video about my bees. And that's okay. I'm not a beekeeping channel. I like to share different parts of homesteading. And if that means that the algorithm is not a fan of me, I want to be real with you guys. I want to share what I'm actually doing with you guys, not just be chasing around, what any type of media platform might choose as the method of showing people stuff. I am real and I'm a real human, and there's different seasons for things. And sometimes I might be doing stuff with my bees more. And so I might have my camera there more. And sometimes I'll be doing homesteading tasks, or I'll be gardening, or I'll just be sharing the things going on in life and in my heart. And I hope that's okay with you, because that's what I want this channel to look like, is an overflow of what life really looks like when I'm doing real things, and what I'm really learning and growing as a mama of 7, as someone in ministry, but who I feel like all of life and a lot of being in nature is how I really learn about what God is like. I have to go outside to get some more chives. I'm going to dehydrate some kind of continually until the frost comes, but I'm going to show you real fast how small my fall starts are. It's like crazy. I've never had them this miniature. I honestly think it's a picture of what my life is like right now. Like, they are so miniature. I didn't start them late either. They just have been very slow growing, and they are growing. They are growing. But they're so miniature. I traded some of my onion starts with a friend who had, literally, guys, her fall starts were like 3 or 4 times as tall and big and like huge leaves than mine are. So I planted hers out. That is what that little video I'm going to show you right now is of. And then mine, I'm letting them get a little bit bigger. And the way I think this is a picture of life, which for me, gardening so often is this season for me. I have been in like kind of like a stripping away season of like breaking things down, getting to the heart of the matter of things. And so sometimes we are slower growers, and it doesn't mean we're not growing. Doesn't mean we're not making growth, even if we're slow. I'll say that again. It doesn't mean if we look at others and they're growing faster and they look more successful and thriving, that we aren't growing. If there's life happening, even if it's slow, it is worthwhile. And I feel like that picture of my starts is a picture of my life right now, because it has been a cutting away season. It has been a allowing myself to grieve season. It has been a season where I am making slow growth, but I'm making important growth, the growth that matters over the long haul, the growth that people don't see right away, because so much of it is like the roots below the surface, but it's what's going to make my life fruitful. Just like those plants have to get strong root systems for them to be fruitful. They don't have to be the record-breaking, fast-growing, fast-shooting up plants. Okay, let me show you us planting the other one so you can see how funny the comparison is in size. All right, I traded some brassicas with my friend Robin for some of my beans, and these right here, I think there's 7 cauliflower. And then we have 1 red cabbage and 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 other cabbages. And then the other side, my husband is planting all the broccoli that she has. I have my own starts. They are not this big, so we're going to plant hers first. And then as we deal with this overgrown garden, some of it definitely needs to be cut back. Some is still producing, some is not. We will gradually plant my stuff out too. But one thing we're going to do for sure is put like a bird cover, like a netting. We have tulle fabric. Because last year I did all this work of planting this stuff out by myself when my back really hurt, did not cover it, and the birds feasted, and I had no cabbage left. We got this fabric at Joann's, however, Joann's is closed. So if we wanted to order it, we'd have to order it online. I can't remember the price, but it was super reasonable. And that's like a huge thing. Like over there, we're not even finishing it, but you can just put that down below because once they get established, they're gonna be fine. They'll be fine. So those starts, I'm gonna have as like my succession sowing first planting of fall veggies. And then my little tiny ones, as I harvest and clean up the garden, I will slowly plant those out because I know they will be fruitful in the right timing. And I want to encourage you that you and I can also be fruitful in the right timing. It may not look like everybody else. Our lives are not supposed to be graded on a curve. They're not supposed to be a comparison game. We are called to live the life we have set before us and to honor God the way we live, not to compare and contrast with the growth of those around us. I'm going to cut this mess of chives and show you what I'm working on. When I say I have a mess of chives, I really mean it. So this is supposed to be my sweet potatoes right now. On the other side, there are summer squash that need to honestly be cleaned up. You can see a couple little summer squash on them. We have tomatillos and cucumbers. And we have so many chive plants, and I've cut them back so many times, and they're just a mess of grasses, but they are so yummy and so good for you. So I'm going to cut a bunch of this one right here. But first, isn't that just beautiful? I love oak trees, and that's a eucalyptus, and that's the sun just peeking behind them. Okay, I've got my work cut out for me that I don't accidentally cut my sweet potato vines. I'm trying to cut my chives. I have thought about even digging like one of these up and maybe selling it, or I don't know, just preserving it hardcore and then taking it out, cutting it so far back to like ground level, but that takes time and I have to do it. We'll see if I do it. I once had a huge sage in here that was so big, and I have another huge sage over there. I didn't need 2 huge sages, so we actually dug that one up at some point and just processed all the sage in it. And I thought about it with some of these extra chive plants because no one needs as many chives as I have. Okay, I don't want to twist my back bad because of the back issue, so I'm going to try to get in here and snip without snipping my other plants or my irrigation. Just that alone is so much, and it doesn't even look like I made a dent. It is incredible. I try to pick the dry ones out, but I do that inside often before I dry them. The little ones that get brown and gray. So, what have I been learning? Well, a lot of you know that I lost my grandma, my mom's mom. She was, 96 years old, and she passed away in March, and I was incredibly close to her, and that's been a lot for me to walk through. I know that, people say like, oh, they had a long, good life, but it is still so much grief, so much. I lost my other grandma 2 years ago, and then my Nana, who I'm actually indigenous to this specific area I'm Wintu. And then I lost my aunt, who I was very close to 3 years ago, and my dad a dozen years ago, which I never really walked through that how I probably should. And so it's all coming up. It's all coming up. There's so much. I feel like I've been on a journey of learning how to allow grief, to work through it in a more healthy way than I have before. And that has affected, every part of life. I think it's probably made my own growth and even my garden slow down. But I don't think that is a bad thing. I think that is, I think that's healthy and necessary, and something that I'm not usually patient enough to deal with. I usually will push things aside and just try to keep going, but you can only keep going for so long, you know what I mean? So that has been my season. That's even besides my back, having a big issue. Not as big as before, but big enough that I'm back in physical therapy. I've needed a quieter season. I've needed to process and to actually walk through what I'm feeling and not ignore it. And if you are in a similar place at all, I just encourage you that you take the time that you need, and when it comes up, to not stuff, but to allow it to come up and just to ask questions, to sit with it, to process. I think it's much healthier than I have dealt with this kind of grief and pain in the past. And I want to learn and get better. I want to grow as a human through the trials of life and be more fruitful. We work on the soil of our garden, we want it more fruitful. I want that for life as well. So badly. I want fruitfulness. And I think that comes from sometimes cutting back and pruning, and sometimes going through maybe a more winter season, that there's rest. And sometimes there's the hard work of the harvest, and there's the planting, and there's all the parts. There's the weeding, but all of it matters. There's not one that's more valuable than the other. In our gardens and in our hearts and our lives, they all serve purpose. I've been reading a book, I just finished, called The Body Keeps a Score. And it's about trauma, and it's a hard read. I'm going to warn you, I had to skip certain parts because super trigger warning. But I felt like it was a read that was timely for me. I have things I've walked through in my life. I think a lot of us have. And I haven't dealt with them, thinking that somehow they would go away. But they don't just go away. Things don't just go away. We have to actually purpose ourselves to get healthy and to be able to deal with real things that happen that are ugly. And I feel like I have vision to get healthy. I've had vision to get healthy physically for a while. The car accident I had 3.5 years ago, I've been on a journey for my body to be whole again. For my shoulder, we went through surgery almost 2 years ago. My back issues, to actually get the stability. My body is hypermobile, to get stability, to get strength. I feel like the inner part of my heart and my mind, my mental health, I want to be strong too. I want to be emotionally strong. I want to be spiritually strong. I want to be physically strong. That is a journey I've been on lately. And some of it, it's been too tender. It's been too real walking through to really be able to document it well on here. But I do want to tell you that I feel like it's really worth it. It's really worth it to do the hard work. I'm taking a couple dance classes at my girls' dance studio. And part of that is to get my body strong, to get my core strong and healthy for the long term. Both of my grandmas lived till their late 90s, both of them. The women in my family live a long time, so I'm here for a while. I want to be able to endure while I'm here. And I want to thrive while I'm here. And then also, I want to thrive inside while I'm here. And so one way that is really healthy to process emotions and to be able to have that mental heart sort out and putting things in the right place and to deal with stuff is actually dance, theater, music. It's so interesting how such organic life and I feel like I'd put gardening in that category too, can really heal our hearts and our minds. We can heal our hearts and our minds. And so that has been the journey I've been on. Let me know in the comments below. This is going to be probably about wrapping up here. I've got a lot left to do. I've got all these chives to deal with and wash and sort and dehydrate. And then I didn't even finish the trays inside. I also have some really good flavored salts, a lime basil salt that I'm going to sell locally for Christmas time. And anyway, I've got to deal with that stuff, but I just want to leave this here. And I want to do more videos again. But if you have places that still need to be healed, I just encourage you, pop a note in the comments below and let's encourage each other to get healthy and to be honest and to process and to grieve and to have beauty that comes from it that we can offer to help others on their journeys, and that we could have a fruitful life. Just like I know we both want for our gardens. We want fruitfulness, and sometimes that is painful cutting back. Sometimes that is painful pulling weeds, and sometimes that is waiting to plant because it's not ready, but it doesn't mean it won't be at some point. All right. Thank you so much. I'd love if you like this video. I am so out of the algorithm's favor that any love you can give it would just help my channel be able to kind of restart, reboot. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video.